9/11, 20 years later. Many of those first responders were called into action once again during the pandemic.
Some on the front despite the threat of COVID-19 and illnesses related to Ground Zero.
And tonight, News 12's Caroline Flynn shows us how some of those heroes are coping.
Our community was greatly impacted by COVID, so there was a great need for help at helping families in that time of need.
It wasn't the first time this first responder put others' needs before his own.
There's a picture from one of the surrounding buildings to look at to get an idea of the destruction.
20 years ago, William Menendez was a detective with the NYPD. As part of the job, he always had a camera, giving him the chance to capture moments after the attacks on the World Trade Center and 3 months spent at Ground Zero.
In the time that we were waiting to get through the tunnel, the second tower had collapsed, or I would have been at the command post at the World Trade Center in that very area with the inspector, and things probably would have been a lot different for me. Just say that.
Time at Ground Zero took a toll on his health. He struggles with breathing and has been diagnosed with asthma. And when the coronavirus pandemic hit, it made Menendez even more fearful for his health. But it didn't stop him from stepping up when he was needed once again.
I've been a volunteer fireman for 46 years, a member of Brentwood Ambulance for 21 years. I also work part-time for several funeral homes.
And the hospital.
And I worked security at Good Samaritan Hospital.
He worked all of those jobs throughout the pandemic and miraculously never got sick.
I thought I was going to die.
But many other 9/11 first responders did get COVID.
I can honestly say that was the first time in my adult life, no, in my whole life, that I was afraid.
John Field worked in construction at Ground Zero and now helps other responders experiencing 9/11 related illnesses with the Feel Good Foundation. Many of whom, like him, added COVID to the list of ailments they've battled. Like retired FDNY firefighter Michael O'Connell. He approached battling COVID and a 9/11 related autoimmune disease with the same mentality he had on that fateful September day.
Although I still felt like, nervous about what can come of it, I wanted to keep a positive attitude and make sure that, I best took care of myself and got through it the best way I could.
O'Connell knows how lucky he is. 343 firefighters died on September 11th, and even more in the years since. Here at the 9/11 Responders Remembered Park in Nesconset, the memorial wall honors those who have passed. This year, 293 names will be added to it, the most since it was created. And of those names, nearly 50 will be of those who died from COVID-related illnesses.
They were heroes on 9/11 in the days and weeks that followed. Then they were heroes for fighting their illnesses.
Menendez and all these responders agree on one thing: pandemic or terrorist attack. First responders would likely go through all they've gone through again and again.
There's no second thought. You're called to do a job, and you do it. You continue to do it.
For News 12 Long Island, I'm Caroline Flynn.
Well, those 293 names will be added to the memorial wall on September 18th. And